Welcome to BJJ Basics. In this DVD, we'll be going over the mount position. First, we're going to go over how to maintain the mount. So, when I'm mounted, I don't want to try to pin him down by the biceps. Alright? I want the ground to help me stay on top. Now, I want to have pelvis to pelvis, chest to chest, dead weight. Let's say Joey's going to bench press me off. When he's lifting me up in the air here, first of all, like I said earlier, dead weight, I want to swim through. One hand, the other one follows. So, I'm going to be swimming right through his arms. So he goes to bench press me. 1, 2. Again. 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 We swim through the arms. Then we can add our punches in. Okay? Then we go right back down for base. So it's going to look like this. He bench presses. Now, let's go back into maintaining the mount. Okay? So we swam through. Now, we're just going to add a couple of different things. And he goes to push me to the side. I'm going to hook his neck, base, swim through, come back. There's not just one way how to maintain the mount. It's like riding a bull. There's not just one way. You're going to have to get sensitivity. I'm going to give you some tips how to stay on mount. So, I'm mounted on Joey. The ground's there to help me stay on top. Dead weight, pelvis to pelvis, chest to chest. Again, I don't want to try to pin him down. I want my hands out, okay? I want to use the ground to maintain that position. The ground's there to help me stay on top. Now, when Joey goes to bench press me off, I'm just going to swim through his arms. One hand stays on the floor. I don't want to come through at the same time, like this. I want to keep one hand here, right away, one arm through, the other one follows. Right back to dead weight, hands on the floor for base. He goes again. 1, 2. Again. 1, 2. Now, that's when he goes to bench press me straight up. Sometimes he goes to throw you off to the side. When my opponent tries to throw me off to the side, what I'm going to do is my one hand is going to hook his neck. My hand's like the end of a cane. So, when he goes to throw me off, my one hand hooks his neck, the other hand bases out. So, once I'm here, after I base out, then I just swim right back through. Dead weight. The other side, he goes to throw me off. Hook and base. Swim through. Either side. Pelvis is glued to him the whole time. He goes to throw me. Again. 1 o'clock with my hand. Swim right through. Another way, what he tries to do is he tries to push my legs down. So let's say he pushes my knee. He tries to push my knee all the way down this way to escape. What I want to do is the second his hand goes to my knee, I just, no thumb, grab his wrist, scoop it right up to the ceiling. Scoop it up, back for base. He goes again, scoop it right off. Again, scoop it right off. Now, let's blend all those together. Okay, go ahead, Joey. anytime I want, I could add the strikes in there. Whenever I'm punching or throwing elbows from mount, I don't want to get carried away and get thrown off. I like to throw 2 or 3. He goes to throw me off. I maintain it, go right back to my strikes. So if I want to add the strikes in there, I maintain the mount first. We're here. He goes to throw me off. You have to remember to maintain the mount, keep your base, add your strikes in when you can. If you have him in trouble, he's hurt, by all means, finish him off. He might expose a limb or give up his back from there. That's great too. Again, the #1 rule is to maintain that mount. Don't just lose it. He bucks up. I shouldn't be across the room. I'm on top of him. I'm either finishing him with strikes or taking what he gives me as far as submissions goes. Now we're going to go over the arm lock from the mount. So, Joey's extending his arms again. What I want to do is, when Joey goes to bench press me off, now, I trap his one arm in. It's like I'm giving him CPR here. My one hand on top of the other hand. Now, once I'm here, I bring my head right over his. This is how it's going to end up looking. Alright, I'm just going to swivel around, lay down, take that arm lock. Guys, when you're going for it, when he's bench pressing you, to get used to this, you got to get used to your pivoting point. That's right here. You notice the arm I'm taking is the arm that's in between my arms, here and here. Now, you're going to have to get used to the sensitivity. So what I want to do is I want to get used to pivoting. I'm just going to hop to my feet, go right back down. Now I start pivoting off my arms that are in his chest here. So here, I go back down. I want to keep bringing my leg as close to his head as possible. Back down. Okay, head over head, pivot, back down. Eventually, this foot is not going to touch the floor at all. I'm going to bring it right over his head. So now I'm getting the pivot down. We lean forward, pivoting off the arms in his chest, and we come around. I bring my foot right next to his ear. I have his wrist. Notice my butt is very close to his shoulder. That means it's high on his arm. The more space between your butt and his body, it's low on his arm. It's in a chance of him escaping, the elbow inside. So you want your butt real close, your legs are heavy, thighs together so you protect your groin. His thumbs to the ceiling, control his wrist. Bring it to your chest and raise your pelvis. Okay, hyperextending the elbow and taking the arm lock. So we have the dead weight chest to chest. Make him work to bench press you up. He gets you up once his arms are extended. Here, trapping the arm that we're taking. Head over head, we're getting used to that pivot, so now we just go for it. Right around and take the arm lock. He's up, hands on the chest. This is my pivoting point. Okay? You never want to lay down without that leg in front of the face. So if I come to here and I lay down and then I go to put the leg on top of Joey's face, it's 2 legs. He's going to follow me right up. I need that leg in front of the face so he cannot follow me up. So dead weight, he bench presses. This is where we're going to be, here, and we pivot. Now we're going to put the first 2 together. Okay, we're going to maintain mount, then we're going for the arm lock. So, I'm here, Joey bench presses, we swim through once. We swim through twice. 3rd time, as soon as the arms are straight, we come around and take that arm lock. Now we're going to go over the Americana or the shoulder lock from mount. When I go to hit him, he's going to do one of two things. Either expose his back or bring his arms up in front of his face to defend the punches. When he brings his arms up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my arm across here, no thumb, to his wrist. Now, I'm going to put my elbow right next to his ear. This is what I want, right here, keeping his arm bent. I don't want him to straighten his arm. So keeping his arm bent, now I'm just going to bring my hand underneath to my wrist, okay? I have his wrist, I have my wrist. Just so I don't get zinged in the face here, I bring my head, I look away from him. Now, I'm going to lift up his elbow. I'm going to scrape his knuckles on the floor towards my knee. So I'm here. I'm going to lift up the elbow, scrape the knuckles down. We break the shoulder. Okay? Elbow comes up like you're painting the floor with his knuckles right down to my knee. So I'm here. I go to punch. He defends. If one arm is on top, that's the arm I'm taking. Right across, elbow next to the ear. We come underneath. His wrist, my wrist. Head down, elbow up as we slide the knuckles down. Take that shoulder lock. If neither one's on top, I have my choice which one to go to. Okay? So, we're going to reach across, elbow next to the ear. We come underneath, his wrist, my wrist. Again, I might take a little punch to the back of the head here, but I'll take a little lump on my head for a broken shoulder any day. So I'm here, elbow up, slide the knuckles down. Booyah. Take that arm, shoulder lock. Done. We're going to go over how to get the rear naked choke off the mount position, but before we do that, I just want to go over the proper technique, how to execute that choke. So, when you're going for the rear naked choke, what you want to do is, you want your arm, you don't want to be on the windpipe, you want to be on the carotid arteries. So, when I bring my arm around Joey's neck here, I make sure the point of my elbow is underneath the point of his chin. Okay, it's like a V on his neck. Now, I grab my bicep, I put my hand behind the head. All I'm doing is touching my elbows together. So, we snake it around. Again, the point of my elbow underneath the point of the chin, a V on the neck. Bicep, hand behind the head, touch your elbows together. Right there. Shouldn't hurt at all on your partner. It just constricts on the neck, closes the carotid arteries, puts them to sleep. So we snake it around. Okay, not the windpipe, the carotid arteries. Bicep, hand behind the head, and squeeze. Just a little tip. Sometimes if you're going for this and he grabs the arm, we can take this arm out and replace it with the other arm. Bicep, hand behind the head, elbow to elbow. Okay, like you're hugging your own chest. Elbow to elbow. Now, I'm mounted. I'm raining down punches. Like I said, there's one or two things he's going to do. If he brings his arms up, we take that shoulder lock. He's going to expose his back. When he goes to expose his back, which whenever he rolls, first thing I want to do is, again, hands on the floor, the ground's there to help me stay on top, maintain my mount. So as he rolls over, I'm going to move slightly up his back. What I do is, I point my toes. This is crucial. I point my toes right above his knees. Not on top, just above his knees, not below. Now what that does is, I want to get my hooks in before I choke him. So as he comes up, when he goes to come up, I let my feet fall right inside here. Now when I put my pelvis forward, I've got my hooks inside, nice and tight. Now I'm going to secure that choke. Bring my arm underneath, just the same way I just showed. Bicep, hand behind the head, and squeeze. It's important to point these toes in. The reason being, if I have a full-blown choke and he goes to get up, I could lose the position and roll right off him. Especially in the fight, he's going to have his adrenaline pumping. You're going to have to get those hooks in immediately. That's why it's a good rule of thumb to get the hooks in first, choke second. That's why it's a good rule of thumb to get the hooks in first, choke second. He goes to get up, hooks fall right in. Now, usually, if I put my pelvis forward, I can flatten him out this way. Just in case he's a strong guy, and I feel like I can't flatten him out, I'm just going to come underneath one of his arms, into his armpit here, grab his wrist. I'm going to pull his hand towards my knee. Now I put my pelvis forward. Destroy his base. Now I got him flattened out here. Now, slide the hand underneath and around. Okay, the V on his neck. Hand on the bicep, hand behind the head, and squeeze. So I'm here. I'm raining down punches. He's giving up his back. Ground's there to help me. Stay on top. I widen my knees, move slightly up his back, point my toes in. Okay? Again, we want to maintain control when we have that choke. So we get our hooks in first, choke second. So, he goes to get up. I got my toes pointed in. Get my legs inside his. I get my hooks. Now, come underneath. Pull his hand towards his knee. Put your pelvis forward. Flatten him out. Come underneath. Bicep, hand behind the head. Touch your elbows together and squeeze. Now we're going to go over a different variation of the arm lock when the guy goes to throw you off to the side. Now, I'm mounted. Joey goes to throw me off to the side. So, as he goes to throw me off, what I want to do is my forearm is going to base out. This arm is just going to secure his. Now, as he goes to throw me, I base on my shoulder. My one leg, my far leg is underneath his body now. As he continues to go, I'm just going to hook onto his head. Notice I got the weight on my shoulder. Now both my legs are going to be bent, heels back towards my butt. Now I secure his wrist, pelvis to the floor, take that arm lock. So I'm here. He goes to throw me off to the side. Forearm bases out. Now my shoulder's going to touch the floor and I secure his arm by the forearm. When I'm here, my leg hooks underneath into his armpit. My leg that's in front is going to hook on his head here. Now, my heels are to my butt. I control that wrist. I bring my pelvis to the floor and take the arm lock. So, Joey goes to throw me off. When he throws me off, I base, secure that forearm, armpit. Very important here, guys. Let's say if his head comes up, I'm going to be hooking it. Okay, like so. I bring my heels to my butt so he can't leave. Control that wrist and take. Sometimes when he throws me off, I hook here and his head doesn't come up. So I have nothing to hook. I just want to bring my shin here. I use my foot. I hook right behind his neck. I can take the arm lock right from here. I just put my pelvis to the floor, slightly lift up his wrist. He's done. I hyperextend the elbow. Sometimes I'll start here, and then as the head comes up, I hook it right there. And we take. It's very important when you're practicing this one, have your partner throw you off and go to get up. If Joey just throws me off and doesn't move, he throws me off to the side like this, I might not be able to get the arm lock, but I don't need to. I could just swim through his arms and come back to mount. So he's going to have to give me the right energy by going to throw me off, going belly down, and getting up. So, we're here, he throws me off to the side, I base out, secure that forearm. Now my leg gets under his body because he's trying to get up. And we're here, taking the arm lock. If his head's down, we hook right behind his neck. Take. Now we're going to go over the gift wrap from mount. Besides the arm lock, when he's extending his arm up at me this way, what I could do is I could tie him up and get him gift wrapped. What I want to do is, I'm here, I'm just going to push right above his elbow on his tricep. I'm going to push his arm off to the side. And I'm going to drop my weight behind it here, heavy with my chest. That way it's hard for him to bring this arm back. The second I do that, I'm just going to slide my knee behind his head. My heel goes right to his belt. So I'm going to come up, slide, heel in this way. I got my toes underneath my butt here. My toes are alive. I'm not keeping them flat. I got them underneath me. Now, it's hard for Joey to bring back his arm. Once I'm here, I grab his wrist. I bring my other hand around. I feed it from one hand to the other. It's okay to use the thumb. Here. Turn with the elbow. Gift wrap position. Very dominating position for the fight. If Joey goes to turn towards me, I got control I have his wrist by just turning his elbow back. Very good control here. Okay, I can look to get into submissions from here, or I could just beat him into submission right here. Very dominating position. As Joey's reaching up for my neck, I'm just going to use my hand to push right above his elbow on his tricep. Push his arm off to the side, and right away I collapse my body on it this way, dead weight. Once I'm here, it's difficult for him to bring this arm back. Now, I slide my knee up behind his head, and I bring my foot right to his belt. So I'm just going to slide off to the side here. Notice I have my toes underneath me. I don't want to be sitting on my foot like this. I want my toes underneath me, propping me up. Now, my knee's right behind his head. I grab his wrist. I come around his head, feed it to my other hand. Now, I use his elbow, turning it, pulling his wrist. This is the position I want. Very dominating position to strike from. Difficult to get out of for the guy on bottom. If I feel he's ever trying to turn towards me, I would just grab that elbow, holding onto his wrist, and just turn him back. That helps me maintain control. He's going to want to try to turn towards me. If he turns away, I simply just put my hooks in. We're back to that rear naked choke. Now we're going to go over a basic combination for mount. We're going to be threatening the shoulder lock and then transition to an arm lock. Now, I'm going to be getting the shoulder lock. So I threaten to throw punches. Joey goes to protect his face. We come across. Now, when I pin his arm down, he knows he's in trouble here. In a second, I'm just going to come underneath and take that Americana and break the shoulder. So, when I pin down this arm, it doesn't take a genius to know that I'm looking to take this thing home with me. So Joey bumps on his side, and he looks to grab his wrist and basically just pull that arm back to protect it. So, as he gets on his side here, we're here. As he goes to pull that arm back, I'm going to slide my knee up behind his head, my foot right to his belt. Now, I'm still pinning him down by the wrist here, threatening this arm. Now I just bring this other hand through to my collar here. Once I do that, I bring my heel into his armpit. I lean forward. I bring my upper body. All my weight is going to go towards his lower body this way. I'm actually sitting on him. Now, I just replace my hand with my foot. Sit down. Take that arm lock. Thighs together, thumb to the ceiling. Take. Throwing punches. Joey goes to protect. We go for that Americana. Grab the wrist. Elbow next to the ear. He gets on his side. He goes to pull that arm back. The second he gets on his side, I slide my knee up behind his head. My other foot goes to his belt. Now, still threatening this arm, I come underneath. My hand goes right to the collar. Now, what I want to do is, I want to replace my hand with my foot of the leg that's behind his head. It could be difficult to do here, especially if you're not flexible. You could fall down. What you don't want to do is fall down before the leg's in front of his face. If I'm here and I fall down, my butt hits the floor without my leg in front of the face, I could be going for the arm. Joey's just going to follow me right up, and I'm going to end up in my guard. So, to avoid that, we're here. I slide up behind him. Come underneath, right through the hole here, right to my collar. Now, I bring my heel from his belt to his armpit. Okay, that's very important. From his belt, right into his armpit. I lean forward all the way down his hand. Now, I bring my upper body towards his knees. I'm sitting on him. Now I replace my hand. Now it's easy for this transition to bring my leg from behind his head to in front. I sit as if I'm sitting on his shoulder. Control that wrist, legs together, and take. Now we're going to review some ways how to escape the mounted position. Joey's mounted on me. He's got both his hands around my neck. So what I want to do is I want to block a whole side. My arm comes underneath. I grab his wrist. My other hand, like I'm shaking hands. I like secure his elbow. So wrist, elbow. Now I have his arm. It's very important. When I have his arm, same side, I have to trap that leg in. So we trap that leg in. I bring my heel up to my butt, trapping his leg in. Now I have the whole side blocked off. My opposite foot goes right to my butt. Now, I'm going to look the way I'm going. I'm going 1 o'clock, not 3 o'clock. I'm going to bring my butt off the floor. I'm going to roll over my shoulder. So I bring my hips up to the ceiling, and then we go over the shoulder. I go right to my knees. Joey locks his guard. What I want to do is I want to hold right where his biceps and shoulders meet. Elbows in, head down. That's where I want to be. So it's very important when I'm trapping that side, if my elbows are out and Joey goes to choke me, if he goes, brings his knees under my armpits, I can secure his arm. But now when I'm going to trap that leg in, I can't do it. So when I go to bridge him over, he can just base out with his leg. So I have to make sure if I ever find his knees in my armpits, I have to shimmy myself up and get my elbows flat. Now he can't ride me up high with his knees under my armpits. So again, he's going to choke me, wrist, elbow. Trap that leg in, other heel goes to my butt. I'm looking 1 o'clock. If we go 3 o'clock, a big guy will fall right on his side, and I won't be able to follow him up. All right, and then it's a fight for whoever gets on top. We want to go over the shoulder. So I'm here, we bridge. Reversing right over where the biceps and shoulders meet, right here. That's where I want to be. Elbows in, head down. Elbows in. He goes to choke, wrist, elbow. Trap that leg in. The whole side is blocked off. That's the way I'm going. He can't base out with his leg or his arm. Heel to my butt. My hips go straight to the ceiling. And I'm going 1 o'clock over my shoulder. Up, right to my knees. Make sure I don't take any shots when I come over. Here's another variation of the bridge and roll. Now, another common situation is, instead of trying to choke me, he anchors himself down. So he's here, and he hugs around my neck this way. So what I want to do is, again, he's giving me a gift here. I'm going to take advantage of it. When he hooks around my neck, I'm just going to use my hand to secure it, to keep it in there. Okay? Hold on to his tricep. Same side. Lock that leg in by bringing my foot up to my butt. My other heel goes to my butt. Now, my hand, palm up, right in his ribs. What I want to do is, I'm going to bridge, same exact thing, 1 o'clock. I got the whole side blocked off. That's the way I'm going. Hips up, and over. And again, secure his arms so they don't take any punches. Joey secures the mount. What I want to do is, he's anchoring himself down here. That's the way I'm going to go. He's giving me the green light to go this way. Tricep, leg. Bring your heel to your butt. My other hand, palm up, right in his ribs. Now what I want to do is, I'm going to bring my butt off the floor. I'm going to go 1 o'clock. Butt off the floor, 1 o'clock. Now we're going to go over the trap and roll when our opponent's throwing some punches. When when I'm here, guys, and I want to do the trap and roll, it's impossible to do it if he's not giving me something. So when Joey's sitting up, especially if he's going to throw punches, if I'm trying to grab an arm, he's just going to pull that arm away and then start throwing bombs. So what I need to do is I need to bring him down to me. So Joey's up. He's about to punch. I got one heel to my butt. My elbows are in. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my butt off the floor. I'm going to knee him in the small of his back with my leg. So as he's going to punch, I bring him down. The second his hands touch the floor, I swing my arm up and around his arm this way. Now, just for training purposes here, notice Joey grabs my shoulder. Because I'm going to trap and roll his arm and his leg. I'm going to bring him to this side. If his hand is on the floor, you're practicing this move with your buddy. If I go to take him up and over, I can break his hand here. So make sure when you're repping this, have your partner just grab onto your shoulder. So as I swing around the arm, it's like a chicken wing here. I just bring my elbow back to my side. My foot, again, traps in his leg. That way he cannot base out with the arm or the leg. Hand goes back in his ribs. Same as we did before, guys. Up and over. Bridge, up, and over. We're here. Joey's going to throw the punch right away. Bring him down, swim up and around. Secure that arm. Secure the leg. Heel to my butt. Not 3 o'clock. We're going 1 o'clock. Over the shoulder. So, butt off the floor. Straight up to the ceiling. He can't base out. Now we're going to go over the elbow escape. So now, Joey's not giving me anything. I want to bring him down to me. Okay? If I just sit here and reach for that arm, just going to pull it away. So, heel to my butt, hips off the floor, knee him with the small of his back. Leg flat as a board, hips on my side, not my shoulders. They stay flat. Just my lower body. I bring my hips on the side, here. My knees facing 3 o'clock. I have my one leg held by scraping over his ankle. Chop down with the forearm, knee up to elbow. Escape the hip out. Lock his leg in so he cannot remount me. Very important. When I escape this side, knee to elbow, pushing with my forearm. Once I see my kneecap, I'm out. I bring that knee right to the ceiling, slide my butt right underneath him. Here. Lock up that guard, dominate an arm and a head. Now we're going to go over the elbow escape when somebody locks their legs underneath our butt. So, Joey's grapevining his legs inside mine. He's hooking his feet onto my ankles, and he's got me stretched out. So before I get into that elbow escape, I got to free up my legs. Flat as a board with my upper body, elbows in, just like before. Now what I want to do is, I'm just going to straighten my legs. Straighten them. Bring my legs to the middle. Heel up to my butt, and now I'm ready to escape with that elbow escape. So to get out of this, we're flat with our upper body, lower body. Just straighten your legs. Legs right to the middle. So he's grapevining. Straighten your legs out. Bring them right into the center. Heel to your butt, right back to that elbow escape. This time, Joey's got his legs locked underneath my butt. So he's locking his legs together right underneath my butt, anchoring himself down. So now, obviously, again, I'm not going to be able to do the elbow escape from here. I have to free myself up, free my legs up, get his legs out from underneath me, and then go into my elbow escape. So, here, flat as a board with my upper body, With my lower body, I straighten my legs to feel which leg is on top. Now I feel that this leg's on top, so I'm going to use my opposite foot to untangle it. As soon as I take his leg off, I keep it pinned, I get my leg right back into the middle. Once I get my legs flat, it's all elbow escape. On my side, scrape. He locks his legs underneath my butt. So I straighten my legs, I feel which one's on top. I use my opposite leg here to untangle it. Untangle his leg, keep it pinned. Now I get my leg flat right in the middle. Once it's flat, that's the green light to go for that elbow escape. On my side, my knee's 3 o'clock. Help it along. It's all lower body here. Upper body, elbows in, head flat as a board. Straighten your legs, you feel which one's on top. Now you use your feet like you have another pair of hands. Untangle his legs, here. Leg flat as a board. Hips on the side. Scrape it up. Elbow escape. Hey, everything that's bad material, I don't want bloopers anywhere ending up on the internet.
I can't do no YouTubing with it?
No YouTubing. Now we're going to go over some circumstances. Was that Nick?
No.
Oh!
You also want to mention, like, you need to throw a couple of punches.
Here I am, I'm mounted. Alright. Dude, do you want to stop staring at me like a weirdo? Ready? We'll get some mechanisms. Straighten your legs. Straighten. Yeah. You just. Ready? Go back again.